Hello everyone, welcome back to your channel Ultimate Audiobook. Today we will start the session with Tamil Nadu State Board History Textbook. So let's begin with Unit 1 Early India From the Beginnings to the Indus Civilization. Learning objectives first, to know the Stone Age humans of India. Second, to understand the Paleolithic and Mesolithic societies of India. Third, to learn the importance of Neolithic Revolution. Fourth, to have knowledge and salient features of the Indus culture. Introduction. India experienced an early development of cultures and civilization. Since the Old Stone Age, several groups in India had migrated multiple times and made cultural adaptations to diverse ecozones. Each group evolved its own culture, responding to their living experiences in each place, which eventually led to pluralistic beliefs and systems. From a life of foraging through nomadic pastoralism, the settlers in Indus region reached a matured stage of living in the Bronze Age. This chapter focuses on the history of India from the first settlement of humans in the Stone Age up to the decline of the Indus civilization. It dwells on the Neolithic cultures as well. Sources. Archaeological sources from the bedrock of information for us to understand this long span of time in Indian history. They include archaeological sites, geological sediments, animal bones and fossils, stone tools, bone tools, rock paintings, and artifacts. There is no written evidence for this period. Although the Harappans used a script, it is yet to be deciphered. The faunal or animal and floral or plant sources are important for understanding the relationship of the Stone Age people with their environment. Floral evidence found in the form of charred seeds, pollens, and phytoliths or plant stones helps us to gain knowledge of farming practiced by Stone Age people. The human genes also constitute an important source for understanding prehistoric migrations. The mitochondrial DNA studies provide information on prehistoric migrations. Scientists are trying to extract ancient DNA from the bones of the prehistoric era to understand human dispersals. Scientists are trying to extract ancient DNA from the bones of the prehistoric era to understand human dispersals. Language is another important source of history. Indo-Aryan, Dravidian, Austroasiatic, and Tibeto-Burman language families have flourished in India. These languages developed and evolved during the various phases of migrations in Indian history. Prehistoric India. The period before the development of script is called the prehistoric times. It is also referred to as the Stone Age. When we talk about the Stone Age, we include the entire South Asia, the region covering India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Bangladesh as a whole. Human ancestors are likely to have first evolved in Africa and later migrated to different parts of the world. The earliest human ancestor species to migrate out of Africa was the Homo erectus. Till the end of the 20th century, the prehistory of India was considered to have begun within the time span of 1 million years ago. But recent investigations have produced evidence for the presence of human ancestors in India between 2 million and 1 million years ago. Generally, the period before the invention of script is broadly divided into Stone Age, Bronze Age, and Iron Age. Hence, the names of the materials that they used or the geographical region or the first site to be identified. For example, Acheulean or Harappan are used to name the cultures. The earliest age in history is called Old Stone Age or Paleolithic. This period is divided into Lower Paleolithic culture, Middle Paleolithic culture, Upper Paleolithic culture. The period after the Old Stone Age or Paleolithic is called the Mesolithic Age. The period that followed the Mesolithic is called the Neolithic Age. This is the age in which animal and plant domestication developed, leading to food production. The classification of these cultures is done on the basis of stratigraphic, chronological, and lithic evidence. Lower Paleolithic culture. The earliest lithic artifacts come from different parts of the Indian subcontinent. During the Lower Paleolithic cultural phase, human ancestor species of Homo erectus is believed to have lived in India. The first Paleolithic tools were identified at the site of Pallavaram near Chennai by Robert Bruce Foote in 1863. He found many prehistoric sites when he extensively surveyed different parts of the South India. Since then, numerous Paleolithic sites have been identified and excavated all over India. Lithic tools. The study of prehistory mainly depends upon lithic tools. Prehistoric sites are identifiable based on the presence of stone tools. Human ancestors made large stone blocks and pebbles and chipped tools out of them, using another strong stone. Hand axes, cleavers, choppers, and the like were designed in this way by flaking of the chips. The tools show well thought out design and physical symmetry and convey high quality cognitive or perception skills and capabilities of prehistoric humans. They used the tools for hunting, butchering, and skinning the animals, breaking the bones for bone marrow and to recover tubers and plant foods and for processing food. Wild and domestic. Wild plants and animals grow naturally and independently. When they are domesticated, the lifestyle and physical characteristics, such as cell propagation, change. Consequently, the seeds of domestic plants become smaller in size. In the case of domesticated animals, they lose their ferociousness. The industries of Paleolithic cultures are divided into the early, middle, and late Acheulean industries. The early Acheulean tools include polyhedrons, spheroids, hand axes, cleavers, and flake tools. The Acheulean tradition is absent in the Western Ghats, coastal areas, and northeastern India. Heavy rainfall is attributed to its absence. Uncongenial conditions and lack of raw materials might have prevented the occupation of these areas. Perhaps there was no necessity for the prehistoric people to move into these areas. These sites are found more in central India and in southeastern part of India, near Chennai. These areas receive high rainfall and are therefore endowed with thick green cover and rich resources. Distribution. Low Paleolithic tools are found in most parts of India except in a few regions of the Ganges Valley, southern Tamil Nadu, and in the hilly areas of the Western Ghats. Atirampakam, Pallavaram, and Gudiyam near Chennai, Hunsgi Valley, and Isampur in Karnataka, and Vimbetka in Madhya Pradesh are some important Paleolithic sites where the Acheulean tools are found. Acheulean and Sohanian, based on research, two independent cultural traditions of hand axe, Acheulean, and pebble flake, Sohanian industries were confirmed in India. Acheulean industry mainly had hand axes and cleavers. The Sohan industry is considered to have used only chopper and chopping tools. The Sohan industry gets its name from the Sohan River valley of Pakistan. These two cultural traditions are not considered distinct any longer. Recent studies argue that there was no independent Sohan tradition as Acheulean tools are found in the Sohan industry as well. Chronology. Recent research places the beginning of Lower Paleolithic around 2 million years ago. This culture continued up to 60,000 years ago. Hominin and animal fossils. Unlike Africa, evidence of hominin, immediate ancestor of Homo sapiens, fossil is rare in India. There is a report of a fossil fragment discovered by Robert Bruce Foote from Athirampakam. Its whereabouts are not known now. The only well known hominin fossil of India was found at Hathnora near Hoshangabad in Madhya Pradesh. The cranium is named Narmada human. It is considered to represent the archaic Homo sapiens. It is the only existing fossil find of human It is the only existing fossil find of human ancestors in India. Animal fossils are useful to understand the paleo-environmental context in which people lived. In the Narmada Valley, animal fossils of Elephas namadicus, giant tusked prehistoric elephant, Stegodon ganesa, a giant prehistoric elephant, Bos namadicus, wild cattle, and Equus namadicus, extinct great horse like animal, have been recovered. Teeth of Equus, evidence of water buffalo, have been uncovered at Athirampakam. They suggest an open weight landscape near the Chennai region in the prehistoric period. Equus refers to the genus of animals including horses, asses, and zebras. Way of life. The people of Lower Paleolithic culture hunted animals and gathered roots, nuts, and fruits. They fed on the flesh and bones of animals killed by predators. They lived in open air, river valleys, caves, and rock shelters, as seen from evidence in Vimbetka in Madhya Pradesh and Guriam near Chennai. The prehistoric human ancestors who belonged to the species of Homo erectus didn't have a complex language culture like us, the Homo sapiens. They may have expressed a few sounds or words and used a sign language. They were intelligent enough to select stones as raw material and used the hammer stones to carefully flake the rocks and design tools. Middle Paleolithic culture. After about 4 lakh years BP, before present, changes took place in the lithic technology and the species of human ancestors diverged. The species of Homo erectus existed in this period. Some of the Middle Paleolithic tools are attributed to behavioral modernity. Anatomically, modern humans are said to have emerged around 3 lakh years ago. In India, the Middle Paleolithic phase was first identified by S.D. Sankalia on the Pravara River at Nevasa. After this discovery, several sites of this period have been identified. Recently, the Middle Paleolithic of Athirampakam is dated to be around 3.85 to 1.72 lakh years BP. Indian Middle Paleolithics Indian Middle Paleolithics probably may be as old as the African Middle Paleolithic culture. Industries and tool types. The tool types of the Middle Paleolithic period are hand axes, cleavers, choppers, chopping tools, scrapers, borers, and points, projectile points or shouldered points, and knives on flakes. Flake industry was predominant in the Middle Paleolithic period, and tools such as scrapers, points, and borers were made. Scrapers were used for wood and skin working. Chronology. The Middle Paleolithic culture in India is dated between 3,85,000 and 40,000 BCE, while the African Middle Stone Age is associated with the Homo sapiens. It is associated with the Neanderthals in Europe. No hominin fossil bones of this species have been found in India. Distribution. The Middle Paleolithic sites are found in Narmada, Godavari, Krishna, Yamuna, and other river valleys. Ways of life and main characteristics. The Middle Paleolithic people occupied open air, cave, and rock shelters sites. They were hunter gatherers. The main features of the Indian Middle Paleolithic period include the following. First, the tools became smaller. Second, the decrease in the use of hand axes in relation to other tools. Third, use of core preparation techniques in stone tool production. Fourth, use of chert, jasper, chalcedony, and quartz as raw materials. Upper Paleolithic culture. The cultural phase that followed the Middle Paleolithic is called Upper Paleolithic. This period is marked by innovation in tool technology and increased cognitive capability of humans. The modern humans who first evolved in sub Saharan Africa sometime before 3 lakh years ago migrated to and occupied various parts of Asia around 60,000 years ago. They probably replaced the earlier populations. There is a possibility that these new groups were responsible for the Upper Paleolithic culture of India. Lithic tools and industries. The lithic industry of the Upper Paleolithic period is based on blade and bone tool technologies. Microliths, microliths or tiny stone tools were introduced in the Upper Paleolithic period, and these tools were made using different varieties of silica-rich raw materials. Bone tools and faunal remains have been found in Kurnul caves in Andhra Pradesh. Chronology. The Upper Paleolithic culture is represented in India at several sites. A time bracket of 40,000 years to 10,000 years BP is suggested for this period. Distribution. The people of this period used caves as well as the open air space for living. Meral Bhabi in Karnataka, Kurnul Caves in Andhra Pradesh, Godavari Khani in Telangana, Bagor first and Bagor third of Son Valley in Madhya Pradesh, and Patne in Maharashtra are some of the upper Paleolithic sites of India. Sri Lanka has evidence of microliths and hominin fossils. Incised ostrich eggshell and shale and stone beads have been found at Jwalapuram in Andhra Pradesh, Patna in Maharashtra, and Bota Dombalena and Fayan cave in Sri Lanka. An Upper Paleolithic shrine. An interesting find is of a possible shrine indicated by a block of sandstone surrounded by a similar rubble circle similar to the contemporary shrines found at Baghor in Uttar Pradesh. It is the earliest known evidence of a shrine in India. Ostrich eggshells. Evidence of ostrich has been found in some prehistoric sites of India. The eggshell of this bird had been used as beads, and those from Patna have been dated to 25,000 BP. They are found in Bhimbetka and Patna. Ways of life and main characteristics. Evidence of art in the Upper Paleolithic period appears in the form of paintings. Beads and ornaments of this period have also been found. The lithic blade industry advanced in this period. Some of the green color paintings of Bhimbetka are dated to Upper Paleolithic period based on style and archaeological evidence. Mesolithic culture. Mesolithic sites are found in most parts of India. They occurred in all ecozones from the coasts to the hills, sand dunes, rock shelters, deltaic regions, lake areas, forested territories, hilly and mountainous areas, rocky terrains, and coastal environments. Mesolithic sites in India are found in Paisra in Bihar, Langanj, Langnaj in Gujarat, Baghor II, Chopani, Mandu, Sarai Nahar Rai, Mahadaha, and Damdama are in Uttar Pradesh, Sankanakalu in Andhra, and Kibanahalli in Karnataka. Rock shelter sites are found in Adamgarh and Bhimbetka. Coastal sites are seen at Mumbai, Teri sites in Thothukudi district in Tamil Nadu, and Vishakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh. These sites also have microlithic evidence. Teri, a coastal landscape caused by sand dunes. These soils may have originated in Pleistocene epoch of the Quaternary period. Climate. After the Ice Age, with the advent of global warming, human groups became highly mobile and began to occupy various ecozones. The monsoon pattern had already emerged. Some regions witnessed higher rainfall. At Didwana in western Rajasthan, Freshwater lakes were known to exist between 10,000 and 3,500 BP. The animal bones from this period suggest a dry, deciduous type of forest during the Mesolithic period. Chronology: the date of the Mesolithic culture varies in different parts of the world. This culture is assigned to pre agricultural times in certain areas. In Levant or Eastern Mediterranean, they are dated between 20,000 and 9500 BCE. In India, Mesolithic cultures appeared around 10,000 BCE. In certain parts of India, including Kerala and Tamil Nadu, it continued up to 1000 BCE till the beginning of the Iron Age. In Sri Lanka, the microliths appeared about 28,500 years BP. Economy: hunting wild animals and gathering plant food and fishing were people's main occupation during this age. Agriculture was not practiced in the early stages. At the end of the Mesolithic period, humans domesticated animals and paved the way for the Neolithic way of life. The rock paintings of central India depict hunting, trapping, fishing, and plant food collection. The faunal evidence from this period shows that people belonging to this period hunted cattle, gaur, buffalo, barasingha, porcupines, sambar, chital, gazelle, hog deer, nilgai, jackal, turtle, fish, wild hare, lizard fox, and monitor lizard. Bones of rhinoceros and elephant have also been found. They used spears, bow and arrow, and traps. The paintings of Ambedkar show that various animals were hunted, and for this men and women went together. The people used fire and perhaps roasted food. Domestic animal bones of cattle, sheep, goats, pig, and dog have been found at Kanewal, Loteshwar, and Ratanpur, and from Adamgarh and Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh sites. Camel bones have been found from Kanewal. Camps and houses. The Mesolithic people were highly mobile. They moved in search of animals and plant foods. They made temporary huts and also used caves and rock shelters. Circular huts with post holes and burnt clay lumps bearing reed impressions have been found. Many of caves and shelters feature paintings. Circular huts are seen in rock paintings. The temporary huts were built using perishable materials. Traces of oval and circular huts and possible wattle daub are found in Chopani Mando and Damdama in Uttar Pradesh and Bagor and Tilwara in Rajasthan. Burials. The Mesolithic people buried the dead, which suggests their beliefs and human relationships. Human skeletons have been found in Mahadaha, Damdama, and Sarai Nahar, Rai in Uttar Pradesh. At Mahada, man and a woman were buried together. One burial had an ivory pendant as the grave good. Art. Art is an integral part of human existence. While evidence of art is found in Europe in large volume, they are found only at a few sites in India. A chert stone used as a hard geometric engravings from Chandravati in Rajasthan, bone objects from Bhimbetka and human tooth engraved with geometric design. Rock paintings are found in the rock shelters of Madhya Pradesh and central India. They show people hunting, trapping animals, and fishing and dancing. Bhimbetka near Bhopal, Raisen and Panchamari in Madhya Pradesh, and South Mirzapur in Uttar Pradesh are some of the sites. Hematite and iron rich stone with traces of robbing has been found. These people might have decorated themselves with flowers and leaves. Hunter and gatherers Hunter and gatherers of the historical period. The hunter and gatherers using microlithic tools continued to live in the later period even after the development of Neolithic, Iron Age and historical periods. Perhaps they became part of the marginalized communities when the people who lived in the cities acquired more wealth. Some of the people who live in the forests even today, in some remote areas and also in the Andaman region, could be considered as those people who prefer to live by hunting and gathering. Many such groups lived in the 19th and 20th century, as recorded in the Edgar Thurston's castes, and tribes of southern India. Describing them as primitive is incorrect. They should be considered as people who prefer to live by hunting and gathering. When the Indus civilization was in its peak, Tamil Nadu had microlithic hunter gatherers. The Andhra Karnataka region had the agro pastoralists of the Neolithic period. Characteristics of the Mesolithic cultures. The Mesolithic people lived in semi permanent and temporary settlements. They occupied caves and open grounds. They buried the dead. They had artistic skill. They were spread over wider geographical regions. Cultural continuity is noticed in many parts of India from this period. Their microlithic tools enabled them to hunt smaller animals and birds. Early Neolithic cultures and the beginning of agriculture. The Neolithic period marked the beginning of agriculture and animal domestication. It is an important phase in Indian history. Early evidence of Neolithic culture is found in the Fertile Crescent region of Egypt and Mesopotamia, the Indus region, the Ganges Valley of India, and also in China. Between 10,000 BC to 5000 BCE, agriculture emerged in these regions, which led to several cultural developments. The introduction of domestication of animals and plants resulted in the production and supply of a large quantity of grains and animal food. The fertile soil deposited by the rivers enhanced the growth of agriculture, generating a surplus of grains. Surplus food, surplus food production played a major role in the rise of early civilizations. Large villages came to exist and pottery developed. Permanent residences were built, hence the cultural developments of this period are called Neolithic Revolution. The Neolithic cultures of India are divided into various regional cultures and they flourished in different time periods. In the northwestern part of India and Pakistan, it began at a very early date. In northeastern India, Neolithic cultures appeared at a very late date around the early historic time. The Neolithic culture of northwestern India. The Neolithic culture of northwestern India is the earliest to have evidence of plant and animal domestication in India. Mehergarh, Rana, Gundai, Sarai Kala, and Jalilpur are some of the Neolithic sites. These sites are now situated in Pakistan. The site of Mehergarh has produced evidence of early Neolithic times, dating to 7000 BCE. Wheat and barley were cultivated, and sheep, goat, and cattle were domesticated. The first of the Neolithic age at Mehergarh dates from 7000 to 5500 BCE. The people belonging to this age didn't use pottery but cultivated six row barley, emmer and einkorn wheat, jujube and dates, and also domesticated sheep, goat, and cattle. They were semi nomadic pastoral groups. They built their houses with mud and buried the dead. They used ornaments of seashell, limestone, turquoise, lapis lazuli, and sandstone. Early, early dentistry in the Neolithic Mehergarh. The human ancestors had knowledge of medicinal herbs and were capable of taking care of health for survival from the prehistoric times. As their ways of life changed, new diseases appeared and they had to find remedies. From the Neolithic period, people began to eat ground grain and cooked food, which caused dental and other health problems. The earliest evidence for drilling human tooth or of a living person has been found at Mehergarh. It is seen as a prelude to dentistry. The period second at Mehergarh dates from 5500 to 4800 BCE and the period third from 4800 to 3500 BCE. There is evidence for pottery during these periods. Terracotta figurines and glazed faience beads have been found. Evidence for ornaments on women has been uncovered. Long distance trade was practiced, as revealed by lapis lazuli, which is available only in Badakhshan. The town was abandoned after the rise of mature phase of the Indus civilization. The Neolithic culture of Kashmir. Neolithic culture in Kashmir region was contemporary to the Harappan civilization. Burjahom, an important site of this culture, provides evidence for the megalithic and early historic periods. In this place, people lived in peat houses about 4 meters in depth in order to escape the cold weather. In order to escape the cold weather, the houses were oval in shape, wide at the bottom and narrow on the top. Post holes used for constructing a thatched structure were found around the peat houses. The Neolithic period of Kashmir had domestic sheep, goat, and cultivated plants. The Neolithic people of Burjahom traded with the people of the Harappan civilization. They used handmade pottery. They used tools such as stone axes, chisels, edges, pounders, mace heads, points, and picks. All were used for stitching skins into cloths to beat the weather. Scrapers were used for working the skins. Two phases of Neolithic culture have been identified. They are termed aceramic and ceramic phases. A ceramic phase didn't have evidence of ceramics. Phase shows evidence for the existence of pottery. In the ceramic phase, people built mud houses. They used copper arrowheads. They also used black ware pottery, bits of agate and carnelian and painted pottery. A burial at this site produced wild dog bone and antlered horn. An engraving of a hunting scene is depicted on a stone here with dog and son. Seeds of wheat, barley, common pea, and lentil have been recovered from the excavations. People domesticated animals include cattle, sheep, goat, pig, dog, and fowl. Bones of wild animals such as red deer, Kashmir stag, ibex, bear, and wolf suggest that they hunted animals. There is evidence of menhirs and the use of redware pottery and metal objects in the megalithic culture. The use of lentil suggests that contacts had been established with Central Asia. These people had interactions with Harappan civilization. The Neolithic culture of Ganges Valley and Central India. In the Ganges Valley and in Central India, Neolithic sites are found at Lehura Deva and Chopani Munda. The site of Lehura Deva has produced early evidence of rice cultivation dated to 6500 BC. These sites are characterized by cord marked pottery. Koldiwa, Chirand, Senuar, and Mehagara are important Neolithic sites in this region. These sites also have evidence of pottery and plant and animal domestication. Evidence for the cultivation of hulled and six-roed barley, several types of wheat, rice, pea, green gram, and gram or chicken pea, mustard, flax or linseed, and jackfruit have been found at the sites of central India. Sheep, goat, and cattle bones have been found besides bones of wild animals. The Neolithic people used a type of pottery with cord impression on the surfaces. They used microliths, bone and antler tools, and terracotta objects. These sites perhaps flourished till about the middle of the second millennium BC. The Neolithic culture of Eastern India. The Neolithic sites are found at many sites in Bihar and West Bengal. Birvanpur and Chiran are some of the prominent Neolithic sites in this region, along with Kuchai, Golbai Sasan, and Sankarjang. These cultures show similarities with the Neolithic complexes of East and Southeast Asia. Pointed butt cells, chisel, and shouldered axes have been found in the region from the Neolithic era. Neolithic culture of South India. The Neolithic cultures of South India have been found mainly in Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka and the northwestern part of Tamil Nadu. These sites have arch mounds in the center with settlements around them. More than 200 Neolithic sites have been identified as part of the Neolithic complex. These sites are found near the granite hills with water sources. These sites have been spotted in the river valleys of Godavari, Krishna, Pennaru, Tungabhadra, and Kaveri, Sanganakalu, Tekkalakota, Brahmagiri, Maski, Piklihal, Vatkal, Hemij, and Hallur in Karnataka, Nagarjunkonda, Ramapuram, and Birapuram in Andhra Pradesh, and Payampally in Tamil Nadu are the major Neolithic sites in South India. Some early Neolithic sites have ash mounds. Utnur and Palvoi in Andhra Pradesh and Kodekal, Kupagal, and Budihal in Karnataka feature ash mound sites. Soft ash and decomposed cow dung layers are also found at this site. The evidence of habitation in the form of houses and burials are found around the ash mounds. Neolithic culture of northeastern India. In northeastern India, Neolithic culture appears at a very late period. The Neolithic cultures of northeastern India generally date from 2500 to 1500 BCE or even later. Shouldered axes and splayed celts have been found at the sites in Assam, Meghalaya, Nagaland, and Arunachal Pradesh. Daojali Heading and Sarutaru are the Neolithic sites in the Assam region. This region bears evidence for shifting cultivation. Cultivation of yams and taro, building stone and wooden memorials for the dead, and the presence of Austroasiatic languages are the marked features of this region, which shows cultural similarities with Southeast Asia. The Indus Civilization. The Indus Civilization represents the first phase of urbanization in India. While the civilization was in its peak, several cultures, namely Mesolithic and Neolithic cultures that we discussed earlier in the chapter, prevailed in other parts of India. Nomenclature, phases, and chronology. The civilization that appeared in the northwestern part of India and Pakistan in 3rd millennium BCE is collectively called the Indus civilization. Since Harappa was the first site to be identified in this civilization, it is also known as Harappan civilization. This civilization didn't appear all of a sudden. The beginnings of the Neolithic villages in this region go back to about 7000 BCE at the Neolithic site of Mehergarh. Harappan culture is divided into various phases: Early Harappan, Mature Harappan, Late Harappan. Early Harappan time period is 3000 to 2600 BCE. Mature Harappan time period is 2600 to 1900 BCE. Late Harappan 1900 to 1700 BCE. The urban phase was prevalent in the Mature Harappan period and began to decline afterwards. The Indus Valley site of Harappa was first visited by Charles Mason in 1826 CE or AD and Amri by Alexander Burns in 1831. The site of Harappa was destroyed for laying the railway line from Lahore to Multan. The seal from this site reached Alexander Cunningham, the first surveyor of the Archaeological Survey of India, ASI. Alexander Cunningham visited the site in 1853, 1856, and 1875. But the importance of the site and the associated civilization were not realized until Sir John Marshall took over as the Director General of ASI and initiated research at the site. Sir John Marshall played an important role in the development of archaeology in India. Later in the 1940s, Mortimer Wheeler excavated the Harappan sites. After the partition of the Indian subcontinent, many of the Harappan sites went to Pakistan, and thus archaeologists were keen to trace the Harappan sites on the Indian side. Kalibangan, Lothal, Rakhigari, and Dholavira are the Indian sites that have been since excavated. The explorations and excavations conducted after the 1950s have helped to understand the Harappan civilization and its nature, geographical area, and the settlements. The Indus civilization and the contemporary cultures covered nearly 1.5 million square kilometer area in India and Pakistan. The settlements of Sutka Gendor, in the west on the Pakistan Iran border, Sortugai in Afghanistan in the north, Alamgirpur in Uttar Pradesh, India in the east, and Daimabad in Maharashtra, India in the south are the boundaries of this civilization. Its core area was in the regions of Pakistan, Gujarat, Rajasthan, and Haryana. The early beginnings. The Indus region is one of the areas of the world where agriculture and animal domestication began very early, specifically in Mehergarh. We don't know if there is any continuity between the Neolithic cultures of the Indus region and the later urban civilization. The early Harappan phase saw the development of villages and towns in the entire region. In the mature Harappan phase, urban centers developed. Plant towns, Harappa in Punjab, Pakistan, Mohenjo-daro in Sindh, Pakistan, Dholavira, Lothal, and Surkotra in Gujarat, India, Kalibangan in Rajasthan, India, Banwali and Rakhigari in Haryana, India are the major sites in the Harappan period. Fortification, well planned streets and lanes and drainages are noticed in the Harappan towns. A civic authority perhaps controlled the planning of the towns. The Harappans used baked and unbaked bricks and stones for construction. The towns had a grid pattern and drainages were systematically built. The houses were built of mud bricks while the drainages were built with burnt bricks. Houses had more than one floor. The site of Mohenjo-daro had a plant town built on a platform. It has two distinct areas. One is identified as a citadel and another as the lower town. The houses had bathrooms paved with burnt bricks and proper drains. Some houses had stairs indicating the existence of an upper floor. The houses had multiple rooms. Many of the houses had a central courtyard with rooms all around. The citadel area had important residential structures that were either used by the public or select residents. In Mohenjo-daro, a building has been identified as a warehouse. The Great Bath is a tank situated within a courtyard. The corridors were present on all four sides and stairs as seen on the northern and southern sides. It was well paved with several adjacent rooms. Some structures are identified as granary. The bricks were laid watertight with gypsum mortar. It had drainage. It is associated with ritual bathing. The Great Bath. It is associated with ritual bathing. Subsistence and economic production. Agriculture was an important source of subsistence for the Harappans. The Harappans cultivated diverse crops such as wheat, barley, lentil, chickpea, sesame, and various millets. Agricultural surplus was an important stimulus for a number of developments. They adopted a they adopted a double cropping system. The Harappans used plows. They perhaps plowed the land and then sowed the seeds. Plowed fields have been found at Kalibangan. They used both canal and well irrigation. Archaeobotanists study ancient agriculture and human and environmental relationships. Animal domestication. Pastoralism was also practiced by the Harappans. They domesticated sheep, goat, and fowl. They had knowledge of various other animals, including buffalo, pig, and elephant. But horse was not known to them. The Harappan cattle are called Jebu. It is a large breed, often represented in their seals. They also ate fish and birds. Evidence of boar, deer, and gharial has been found at the Harappan sites. Craft production. Craft production was an important part of the Harappan economy. Uh, Bead and ornament making, bangle making, and metalworking were the major crafts. They made beads and ornaments out of carnelian, jasper, crystal, and steatite metals like copper, bronze, and gold and shale faience, and terracotta or burnt clay. The beads were made in the beads were made in innumerable designs and decorations. They were exported to Mesopotamia, and the evidence for such exported artifacts have been found from the excavations in Mesopotamian sites. Certain Harappan sites specialized in the production of certain craft materials. The following table presents the major centers of craft production. Material, shell, cider, source. There are two columns. In one, material is there, various materials are there, and in the other, site or sources are mentioned. First, cell in Nageshwar and Balakot, lapis lazuli in Shortughai, carnelian in Lothal, steatite in South Rajasthan, copper in Rajasthan and Oman. Pottery. The Harappans used diverse varieties of pottery for daily use. They use well-fired pottery. They use well-fired pottery. Their potteries have a deep red sleeve and black paintings. The pottery are shaped like dish and stands, storage jars, perforated jars, goblets, S-shaped jars, plates, dishes, bowls, and pots. The painted motifs generally noticed on the pottery are pipal leaves, fish scale design, intersecting circles, zigzag lines, horizontal bands, and geometrical motifs with floral and funnel patterns. The Harappan pottery is well baked and fine in decorations. Metals, tools, and weapons. The Harappan civilization belongs to the Bronze Age civilization, and Harappans knew how to make copper and bronze tools. Although they produced bronze implements, they needed various kinds of tools for agriculture and craft production. The Harappans used chert blades, copper objects. The Harappans used chert blades, copper objects, and bone and ivory tools. The tools are points, chisels, needles, fish hooks, razors, weighing pans, mirror, and antimony rods. And antimony rods were made of copper. The chart blades made out of Rohri chart was used by the Harappans. Their weapons include arrowheads, spearheads, sails, and eggs. They didn't have the knowledge of iron. Rohri chart. The chart of fine grained sedimentary rock was found in the region of Rohri in Pakistan. It was used by the Harappans for making stone blades and tools, textiles, and ornaments. The Harappans wear clothes. The Harappans wore clothes and used metal and stone ornaments. They had knowledge of cotton and silk. The image identified as a priest is depicted wearing a shawl like cloth with flower decorations. The terracotta images of women are shown wearing different types of ornaments. The image of dancing girl found at Mohenjo-daro is shown wearing bangles in large numbers up to the upper arm. They made carnelian, copper, and gold ornaments. Some of them had edged designs and they exported them to the Mesopotamian world. Faience, stoneware, and shell bangles were also used. The ornaments produced were either sold or exchanged as part of the trade activities. Trade and exchange. One of the sources of Harappan economy was trade and exchange activities. Harappans had also sorry Harappans had close trade contacts with the Mesopotamians and also with other various cultures of India. The Harappan seals and materials have been found in the Sumerian sites in Oman, Bahrain, and Iraq and Iran. The Cuneiform inscriptions mention the trade contacts between Mesopotamia and Harappans. The mention of Meluha in the cuneiform inscriptions refers to the Indus region. A Harappan jar has been found in Oman. Harappan seals, weights, dice, and beads are found in Mesopotamia. Carnelian, lapis lazuli, copper, gold, and varieties of wood were exported to Mesopotamia. Harappans also interacted with various regions of India and acquired raw materials and processed them. Weights and measures. Harappans had developed proper weights and measures. Since they were involved in commercial transactions, they needed standard measures. Cubical, cubical chart, cubical chart weights have been unearthed from Harappan sites. The weights exhibit a binary system. The ratio of weight is doubled as 1 is to 2 is to 4 is to 8 is to 16 is to 32. The small weight measure of 16th ratio weighs 13.63 grams. They also used a measuring scale in which 1 inch was around 1.75 centimeter. Weights made of chert were cubical. They used binary numbering system 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, etc. They might have been used for weighing jewelry and metal. Seals, sealing and scripts. The seals from various media such as steatite, copper, terracotta and ivory are frequently found in the Harappan sites. The Harappan script has not yet been convincingly deciphered. About 5,000 texts have been documented from the Harappan sites. The longest text has about 26 signs. Some scholars are of the view that it is Dravidian. Seals might have been used as an identity marker on the materials that were transported. They might have indicated the ownership, arts, and amusement. The terracotta figurines, the paintings on the pottery, and the bronze images from the Harappan sites suggest the artistic nature of the Harappans. Priest king of steatite, dancing girl of copper, both from Mohenjo-daro, and stone sculptures from Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, and Dholavira are the important objects of art. Toy carts, rattles, wheels, tops, marbles, and hopscotches exhibit the amusement of the Harappan people. Faith and belief system. The Indus people worshipped nature, they worshipped the people tree. Some of the terracotta figures appear to be Mother Goddess. Fire altars have been identified at Kalibangan. They buried the dead. Burials were made elaborately and evidence of cremation is also reported. The Harappan burials have pottery, ornaments, jewelry, copper mirrors, and beads. This suggests their belief in an afterlife. Polity. Uniformity in pottery, seals, weights, and bricks reveals the existence of a polity. Labor mobilization may also suggest the existence of a political system. Harappa and Mohenjo-daro might have had a city state like polity. The uniformity in the cultural materials and measurement units point to a central authority during the Harappan times. Authorship and the making of Indian culture. One school of thought argues that the authors of Harappan civilization were speakers of the Dravidian languages. The archaeological evidence shows movement of the Harappans to the east and the south after the decline of their civilization. Some of the Harappan people could have moved into different parts of India. However, only the decipherment of the script would give us a definite answer. Indus civilization and Tamil civilization. The Indus civilization represents the first urbanization of Indian history. The origin and authorship of the Indus civilization are keenly debated historical questions. The Indus script has not yet been conclusively deciphered, and hence the authorship is not certain. The graffiti found on the megalithic burial pots of South India and the place names presented are cited too. established the relationship between Indus and Tamil cultures. The archaeological evidence points to several groups of people living in Tamil Nadu and South India continuously from the Mesolithic period. One cannot rule out the migration of a few groups from the Indus region. More research is necessary before arriving at any definite conclusion. The towns of ancient Tami, Tamijhagam, such as Arikamedu, Khijadi, and Urayur, that flourished are part of the second urbanization of India, and these towns are quite different from the Indus cities. Contemporary cultures of the Indus civilization. Several groups, including pastoral people, farmers, and hunter gatherers, lived in the Indus region. The Indus region had villages and large towns. The population of that time was mixed. Innumerable communities of hunter gatherers, pastoral people, and farmers from Kanyakumari to Kashmir and Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh could have existed during this period. Their history is also equally important as cultural and ecological knowledge of all these groups contributed to Indian culture. While the Indus civilization was flourishing in the northwestern part of India, several cultures were developing in different parts of India. In the southern part of the subcontinent, Kerala and Sri Lanka were given to hunting and gathering. The Harappans, who had knowledge of watercrafts, might have had connections and interactions with South India, but no clear archaeological evidence on this is available. The northern part of South India, that is the Karnataka and Andhra region, had Neolithic cultures engaged in pastoralism and plough agriculture. Similarly, the Chalcolithic cultures were prevalent in Deccan and western India, while Neolithic cultures permeated northern India, including Kashmir, Ganges Valley, and central and eastern India. Thus, India was a cultural mosaic during the time of the Harappans. Decline. The Indus Valley civilization declined from about 1900 BCE. Changes in climate, decline of the trade with the Mesopotamia, and the drying of the river and water resources due to continuous drought are some of the reasons attributed by historians for the decline. Invasions, floods, and shifting of the river course are also cited as reasons for the ruin of Indus civilization. In course of time, the people shifted to the southern and eastern directions from the Indus region. Summary. The history of India began in the prehistoric times about 2 million years ago. Numerous groups of people moved into this land from the prehistoric times. These groups adapted to the environment and created specific ways of life according to the ecological moorings. People who made hand axes lived in India from 2 million years ago. Various communities occupied the entire breadth and width of the country from the Mesolithic times and laid the cultural foundations of India. The combined contribution of all these groups contributed to India's pluralistic culture today. The diverse language and cultures of India reveal the complex processes associated with Indian history. The first urbanization emerged around the Indus Valley civilization about 2600 BCE, while Indus civilization was a major cultural system in northwestern India. Several cultures existed across India contemporaneously. Exercise. Choose the correct answer. First, the period before the development of script is called dash. Four options are prehistoric, historic, Paleolithic, Neolithic. Second, the earliest age in history is called dash. A. Old Stone Age, B. New Stone Age, C. Copper Age, D. Iron Age. Third, the first Paleolithic tools were identified in dash. A. 1860, B. 1863, C. 1873, D. 1883. 4. Fourth question. Baghor first and Baghor third of Stone Valley in Madhya Pradesh are some of dash sites in India. A. Lower Paleolithic, B. Middle Paleolithic, C. Upper Paleolithic, D. Neolithic. Fifth, the site of Mehergarh has been associated with dash culture. A. Paleolithic, B. Neolithic, C. Mesolithic, D. Chalcolithic. 6. The dash inscriptions mention the trade contacts between Mesopotamia and Harappan civilization. A. Cuneiform, B. Hieroglyphics, C. Devanagari, D. Kharoshthi. 7. Burjahom is an important site of dash. A. Neolithic culture of Kashmir, B. Neolithic culture of Ganga Valley, C. Neolithic culture of Eastern India, D. Neolithic culture of South India. 8. Early Harappan period was dash. A. 3000 to 2600 BCE, B. 2600 to 1900 BCE, C. 1900 to 1700 BCE, D. 1700 to 1500 BCE. 9. Dash was an important source of subsistence for the Harappans. A. Agriculture, B. Pottery, C. Crop production, D. Fishing. 10th. The Indus civilization declined from about dash. A. 1800 BCE, B. 1900 BCE, C. 1950 BCE, D. 1955 BCE. Write brief answers. First, what are the sources for the study of prehistoric period? Second, how is the Old Stone Age or Paleolithic period divided? Third, write a short note on hominin. Fourth, define Mesolithic culture. Fifth, how is the Harappan culture divided into various phases? Sixth, write a short note on the Great Bath. Seventh, mention the reasons for the decline of Indus civilization. Write short answers. First, write a note on Acheulean and Sohanian industries. Second, what are the main features of Indian Middle Paleolithic age? Third, mention the Mesolithic sites in India. Fourth, explain the distinct features of the Mesolithic cultures. Fifth, what are the border settlements of the Indus civilization? Sixth, write a short note on the crop production of Harappan economy. Seventh, what do you know about the faith and belief system of the Harappans? Fourth, answer the following in detail. First, describe prehistoric India. Second, compare the lower and middle Paleolithic cultures. Third, the Neolithic culture in Kashmir region was contemporary to the Harappan civilization. Justify the statement. Fourth, where are where are Neolithic cultures found in South India? Mention its important features. Fifth, why is the Indus civilization also known as Harappan civilization? Sixth, write about the plant towns of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. Activity. Visit a nearby museum to know the objects used by people of that time. Second, draw the Paleolithic tool types. Third, prepare a chart on different stages in the human evolution. Fourth, draw the extent and spread of Indus civilization, marking the sites discovered so far. Assignment with teacher's guidance. First, prepare a PowerPoint presentation on the Stone Age of India. Second, prepare a PowerPoint presentation on the Indus Valley Civilization. Third, prepare a PowerPoint on the Neolithic cultures of India. Fourth, prepare a PowerPoint on the prehistoric art of India. Glossary. Nilgai is a deer with small horns. Jasper is a precious stone in yellow, red, and brown color. Quartz is semi-precious stone with varying color. Levant is Eastern Mediterranean region. Gazelle is a kind of deer. Edges is chisel-like tool fastened to wooden handle. Agate is a kind of hard precious stone. Carnelian is reddish variety of stone used in jewelry. Legume is a kind of botanical family in which seeds are found in pods. Legume is a kind of botanical family in which seeds are found in pods. Nomenclature. System of naming. Lentil is a kind of pulse. Goblet is a cup with handle at the base. Adduced is showed as proof. Conglomerate is a rock consisting of gravel or pebbles. So now everyone, we have come to an end of this session. I hope this audio book will definitely help you. If you like the audiobook, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to Ultimate Audiobook, and don't forget to hit the bell icon. I'll meet you with a new chapter. Till then, take care and bye bye everyone.